Hi, my name is Evan Nightingale, and I'm the owner or future owner of Childcare Today. So when I reached out to you, I really wanted to kind of like learn like where I should start setting up my business because I'm really excited to get into the childcare industry. And first, you kind of wanted me to kind of do like an opportunities assessment on my own, just to kind of see how well either of these like two ideal locations that I had in mind. So the first thing that I want to do is just kind of go over to assess the opportunities for this venture creation. It's important to note, just based off my own research, that I found that this usually deals with like market size, your relationships with your customers or employees, and then your abilities to manage your cash flow. The one big thing that I kind of want to focus on is the market size for both of these locations. So location A, which I'm just calling for the purposes of this, the big city. It's a larger market size, most definitely. It has a population of 150,000 people, and with the estimated number of children at 15,000. Also important to note that this area does have a high demand for childcare. It's also important to note because of that high demand, there isn't enough other childcare facilities that can keep up with this. So what we've seen in this area is that the prices are currently skyrocketing in this area, meaning that I would be able to charge more for this. Location B, what we all kind of think of as a childcare desert. It's definitely a smaller market size. It has a population of 35,000. That includes the city of 25,000 and then the 5 surrounding towns. With the estimated number of children around 7,000. Here, it's a normal demand for childcare. Most parents either have to travel into the big city to get childcare, or they just rely on those like old methods of asking friends or family to watch their children or something of that nature. It's also important to note that with this, I'm going to be able to set a price just based off the cost of running and operating my own facility. So next, you asked me to kind of assess the risks associated with this venture. And I found that there were multiple different types of risks that are associated with this. So those 5 being product, market, financial, team, and execution. Now, as you can see, I did highlight market and financial because those are the big ones that I really want to focus on here. So for location A, there are a lot of other facilities, meaning a lot more competition. However, the potential location for this it is a pristine facility, and it is within my budget for renting out this area. In location B, which again known as the childcare desert, there are no other facilities, meaning virtually no competition besides what people want to do with their childcare. Again, when they will go into the big city or when they have different like friends and family meeting them. And this facility, it's an average facility. It does come in way under budget. However, upgrades and renovations have to be done to make it suitable and up to my standards. So next thing here, I did do kind of a budget breakdown for both of these locations. So as you can see, this is the budget for location A, the big city. So both my max budget for both locations is $100,000. And the lease cost for the big city location will be $90,000, breaking around to $7,500 a month, meaning I'm only $10,000 under budget with this one. And potential for childcare revenue, the average within the city and what I'm finding most other businesses are charging is $220 a week. And with my capabilities to hold up to 30 children, I just did a potential childcare revenue. So meaning per week, I'd be getting around $6,600 a week. Also, with this, I did a potential revenue. So per month, I'd be around making $26,400. And that's just based off revenue. That's not taking out any of the operating costs. However, I did want to kind of calculate the rent in there. So I was always taught when running a business, you always set aside 30% of your revenues per month for your rent. So 30% of 26,400 is 7,920, meaning that's good because I do come in under budget on that area. However, when looking at location B, the childcare desert, same thing. However, the lease cost for this location is $45,000 a month, or $45,000 a year, excuse me, and then breaking down to $3,750 a month. So this is really great. How much under budget? $55,000, a lot of money. However, there are those one-time renovation costs that I would have to face. And that would be around an estimated 27,500. I took this just based off of um, the average amount of money that it costs to renovate a business, which is $100 per square foot. And then it is a 275 square foot facility. So going into the childcare revenue, it is $125 a week times 30 children, which meaning I will bring in $3,750 a week, which makes my monthly potential revenue $15,000. So again, taking that 30% out rule for the rent, it would come in at 4,500, which is again really great because as stated, the lease cost per month is 3,750, which is very great for me. So next, you kind of asked me to assess the costs and benefits associated with this. I looked it up, and a cost benefit analysis is basically a process that a business is going to be able to use to analyze which decisions to make or not to make. So good news that both facilities are doable. However, to me, just looking at it on paper, location B does seem like a better location for me. So I kind of did further break it down with location A. It does have the larger market and I'm able to charge more. However, the costs for operating are just going to be a lot more higher. Also important to note for location B, it is a smaller market, but it is a very small niche market that I'm finding, and that it definitely can be a very successful one for my business. And also the operating costs are just going to be a lot more easier to deal with. So next, you kind of asked me to do a market analysis, and this is kind of just what I created by myself. And looking at location A, again, it has that larger market size, population of 150,000, with a high demand for childcare. And for me, it's going to be easy to find customers, and it does really look ideal on paper. However, looking at location B with that smaller market size and more average demand for childcare, it's going to be hard to find those customers, but the operating costs, they're going to be so much lower, and it might be more convenient for all parties involved. By that, I mean, parents will no longer have to drive all the way out into the city to just drop their child off before heading to work. And it just might be a lot more convenient for everyone. So going more into that, within the market analysis, you did ask me to kind of create like a SWOT analysis. So it's important to note that this is just a planning technique that's used to help identify factors related to the business. So that those being strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So over here, you can see for location A, the big cities, the strengths are there's a lot of potential for the clientele, and childcare is really needed within this area. Some weaknesses, however, is that the high operating costs I am kind of really scared to face. Some of the opportunities, however, and I might be able to expand quicker. I might be able to buy another location within the city, and I'll have an easier time to find staff to help me run my business. Some of the threats, though, there are high competition from other businesses, as we've seen, as we can see that the supply and the demand, they don't meet each other. The demand is a lot higher than the supply, but meaning there's going to be a lot more competition when it comes from clients trying to choose between mine or Joe's down the street. You know what I mean? So next, for the SWOT analysis continued, I did do one for the location B in the childcare desert. So the strengths, that there's no really current competition. The only main competition I would have to worry about is just potential clients' preferences, and the operating costs are much lower. Some of the weaknesses, however, that there's not as much potential clientele, and it might be more difficult to get my name out there. Just saying, like, with the marketing and advertising costs for that. So some of the opportunities, however, I might be able to truly build the business that I've always wanted to build, meaning I'm going to have a strong customer business relationship with the families and the children. Some threats, however, I might see is that if I'm able to choose this location and be successful, more competitors might try to do the same and then come into my territory. And another threat I see is that finding staff might be a little more difficult for me in this location. However, this is just my initial reactions for both of these locations. Location A, obviously, it seems like a no-brainer. It's where the demand is, and I'm going to be able to supply that. However, I'm kind of leaning towards location B because it might be better for my business and what I would really want to do with my business, building that strong connection with my potential customers. And also the lower operating costs could mean I could use the extra potential revenues for expansion within the area. Meaning if I see a high demand that is I'm finding within this location, I'm going to be able to expand and upgrade my facilities more easier. So I know we weren't able to meet in person, but I did leave my contact information on here for you. I will send this video out to you. I'm really looking forward to hearing back from you. I'm hoping we can set a call up next week to kind of discuss my findings, discuss your findings, and then kind of discuss where I really want to go with this. So thank you.